What is up, my beautiful people? What's happening? Welcome back to another episode of Bonesy 369. Today's a good day, a good special day for me. I want to introduce you guys to my everything. And with no further ado, especially for people for Jenny and Melissa and different people who want to hear this girl and setting her energy, here's my beautiful wife, Kimberly.
Good morning. Hello. I don't know why you said all that silly stuff, but
because it's true. All right, we're in here. And we don't know what we're going to talk about because every time we talked last night about what we was going to talk about, we was like, well, I don't know, so she's worried that, if we talk about something too serious, or whatever. So we're just going to shoot from the hip and keep it real like I always like to do. And anyway, what's your name, lady? Who are you?
My name's Kim.
Yeah.
And, this is my first time on the video, so I'm kind of nervous. And I wasn't going to do it, and I was going to do it, and I wasn't going to do it. And so I decided I was going to do it. Well, I'll tell you what made me really, make me say for sure that I was going to do it was the sun came out. So, because it's been kind of cloudy. You can see it's kind of cloudy.
Now here we are, the sun's gone.
I know it, but
it was out long enough to get her to do it.
Yeah, and it came out. I said, well, the sun's out, so for me, that's my sign. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So
she's the sun queen.
Yeah, I love the sun.
Yes.
And it just, not to be out in it. I love to be out in it, but it just makes me feel good. It gets me ready for the day. It makes me very happy.
Yeah. We got a full moon coming, and I thought, what better time for you guys to just wallow in her energies. She's humble. She doesn't realize, what. Yeah, but she doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't realize how special and important she is. But she is. She's the shit. But I don't know why. Stupid. But I can't. I can't really talk about her without getting a little emotional. But we've been together forever. We're kind of not kind of. We know we're soulmates. We know that we found each other. I believe, and I'm not sure about you, but I believe that we've probably had relationships multi-lifetimes, multi-dimensions, different planets, different times on this earth, and we found each other again. When we was kids, what's funny is my mom and dad got a divorce, and we moved for a minute, and I went to her elementary school, which we always argue. She always says that she never did chase boys, only boys chased her. And I made it very clear that I never chased girls. Girls chased me. So she swears up and down she didn't chase me around the playground. And I swear up and down I didn't chase her. I didn't chase girls because girls were too easy to catch. I was elusive, man. You couldn't catch me, so it was funner if they chased me. If I chased you, I caught you.
He didn't catch me then. He caught me later.
Yeah, so, and then, because we knew we'd put our pieces together, and kind of realized that, we were destined to meet for the simple fact that during school, then later on, her mom and dad hung out with I have cousins, and the man that my aunt was married to ended up marrying another lady. Well, those two people became friends with her mom and dad, and this is when we were
probably about
kids.
8,
So she
9.
hung around with my cousins all the time. So we may have met back then and just didn't know it, but it was just another chance for our path to cross, And then when I was a teenager, I got into a bunch of trouble, and my mom couldn't control me anymore. I've been stealing cars and doing all kinds of bullshit, selling drugs and just doing shit, And so she's like, call Dad. I can't handle this kid. So I moved to her school, and I only had like 1 or 2 friends there that I knew, and one of my best friends was her boyfriend. So we all go out on a date. Double date. Yeah, and she's with him, and my date stood me up, and so we go over to this dude's cousin's house, and I don't know why I'm even going into the story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. But we go to my cousin's, and I, being the jokester, I'll always like to be funny, and whatever. I don't want to say center of attention, but
we might as well say the center of attention.
Anyway,
he was hilarious. He had me laughing that whole night.
Yeah, and he wouldn't pay any attention to her, but I did.
He's boring.
Yeah, so that we just clicked right off the bat, and been together ever since. It's been almost 40 years.
Yep.
So
we just had our 38th anniversary.
38th anniversary. Our oldest boy will be turning 38 at the end of June.
Yep.
Youngest boy's 34, something like that. So, yeah, so anyway, that's how we met. And we're clung, we're stuck by the hip. It's almost sickening sometimes because we're just...
Everything we do together.
We go to Walmart, we go to whatever.
Everything is together.
Yeah, she's my best friend, so...
And he's mine.
So, and, but, you know, I had talked earlier about her and how she was just like, she's always been this ray of sunshine. She's always, you know, always has a compliment for every single person, always has something nice to say. You know, I'm not like that. I'm different now than I used to be, but I used to be real critical, judgmental, you know, kind of a prick. I think prick is a favorite word people used to use for me. Dickhead, prick, you know, all that shit.
Those are mild words.
Yeah, those are the nice things that they used to say about me. But anyway, and she was like the yin to my yang, or whatever you would say, you know, like kind of the opposite, you know. She's like this ray of sunshine, you know. And I always tell her all the time, and she's humble, and she doesn't see it like I see it. But I've told y'all, so I just want you to sit here and feel her energy.
I hate it when he does that.
Yeah. But we'll go ahead and talk about something, since we couldn't figure out what we was going to talk about. And I told her on the way here, AJ has been putting up a few videos about elementals and animals, and we've had our experiences. We have our little yard, and we got little squirrels, and we got rabbits, and we got birds, and you know, they all come out to play in the mornings and the evenings. And I've had my experiences, most of my experiences, I've had a few with rabbits, but mostly it's with squirrels. Me and squirrels, man, I don't know, them dudes, you can tell that they communicate. Remember when that one came right up on the porch to us? Mm-hmm. But and then we have one that we was feeding by hand, but for some reason squirrels, man, we make eye contact, and I can tell that there's a connection going on with us. But I want you to tell them about the plant. She has this plant, we call it the life plant.
Well,
hang on, let me set this up, because about 5 years ago she got breast cancer, and we went through, it was hell. She had a radical mastectomy, the radiation, chemo. I mean, it was like, it was the real deal. She had to have one breast completely removed, and used her stomach to make a new breast, and all this and that, which I know it's personal, and I'm sorry if I'm going too deep into this, but we got this plant, and it was little, and we call it the life plant. What do we say? This is it's a representation of our life, or you know, this plant. We just knew that from that time, because that time was like a turning point, where we changed, she changed, I changed, everything changed, and we began to lead a whole different life, a whole different way of thinking, a whole, you know, we realized how short life was. And when you face your own mortality, man, it changes you. It changes you. When you face, you know, real life scenarios where death, I mean, you're facing that, you know, because it's inevitable, death is, you just don't know when. And when you're facing that, you realize, oh God, you know, it changes you. So we changed, and we slip back a little bit sometimes here and there, but we always try to remind ourselves just how blessed and how lucky and how beautiful life is, and you know, why focus on dumb shit and worry about petty, you know, whatever. But anyway, so that's the backdrop for the plant. But anyway, this plant has bloomed. Her plants can never grow. And don't you think since the reconnection, our plants have been crazy?
Yes, man.
The energy in our house has changed.
Yep.
But she's got this plant that's been talking to her. So tell us about it.
So anyway, this plant, like he said, we got it when my chemo was over and the cancer was gone. Bought this little plant. It was about this, probably about to start out about this big. Now it's huge.
I think it's
from the
Pacinium.
floor. It's huge plant. And anyway, it's been about a couple weeks ago, we were sitting there, and you know how when you water a plant, you can hear it going down in the dirt. My mom used to say, it's talking to you, because you can just hear it drinking the water. Well, I hadn't watered the plants, and we were sitting there, just kind of quiet in the house, and all of a sudden I can hear that noise of how it's, going down into the water, absorbing the water. And
let's hear it. What's it sound like?
So I stopped and I'm looking at it, trying to figure out where that noise is coming from, and it's coming from this plant. And I'm looking all around, I'm thinking, my gosh, this plant is talking to me. And I tried to get down to the bottom where the pot and the dirt is, to hear it down in there, and no, I didn't hear it from in there. I heard it coming from the whole entire plant. And I told him, I said, listen, this plant is talking to me. And I don't think he could hear it. But it was just going, and I was looking at it, and I'm thinking, are you really talking to me? and it kind of quit. And it did it again the next day. If my memory is correct, it did it 3 days in a row, just for a minute, and just going like this, and I just knew it was saying something to me, talking to me. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what it could have possibly been saying. It wasn't
saying good morning.
I think it was just saying good morning. Have a great day. Life is good. It's
probably just loving you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the tests have shown, they've done this. This has been known for years. That, if you're on this journey, you know now that everything is consciousness. You know that everything has consciousness. Every single cell is conscious. So, but as far as plants go, they've people that talk to their plants, people that play music for their plants, people that show their plants love have better growing plants than people that don't. It's been proven. Plants love attention. Plants love you to talk to them. Plants love music. So that in itself, to me, screams, how life form on this planet. We all are interacting. We're all connected. You know what I'm saying? We always talk about the collective consciousness, and we always talk about, we're tapped into this collective consciousness. Well, it's not just people. There's plants. The reason that I think that a lot of people are waking up is because Mother Earth is screaming. I'm about to do a video on this, and the reason I've been gone, I'm going to briefly talk about this, is I've been doing a lot of research on a lot of different things, and I just don't want to come out and just talk about shit. I want to know what I'm talking about, be able to put a case together and draw, connect these dots. And I think Gaia, I think Mother Earth is screaming. She's screaming, help me, help me. You know what I'm saying? And I believe, well, I ain't going to go into this video, but I think that there's a lot more women waking up. It has to do with the magnetic field. It has to do with, Mother Earth and women's intuition being tapped in. And I believe that, men that are waking up are guys who are sort of in touch with their emotional side, or they allow their emotional side to live, because most men stuff their shit. They won't, men are logical. They're not going to follow their emotions. They're going to follow logic and, whatever. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Back to the plants, back to the animals, back to trees. We're sitting under this beautiful tree, and we got this willow. I don't know, can you see the willow? Anyway, just being out in this, it changes you. You can feel it. That's why you've got to get out here. You've got to get out here in nature, and you have to be around these little animals. You have to be around birds, trees, plants, everything, because there's communication. You're being communicated with. A lot of people, this is their church. This is where, for me, I always used to tell her going golfing and fishing, because there's so much silence. Out on the middle of the golf courses, if you're out there, especially when nobody else is out there, then you're on a lake, or a pond or whatever, out by yourself. there's this silence, but you tap into this energy. You know, like when you leave, you feel recharged. You feel there's something that you got from it. And it's not just that silence, and it's not just the beauty, because those come with it, but there's something else that happens to you. You know, there's something else. There's this feedback loop, you know, and it's going on. Well, anyway, I'm going to step off this and talk. I want you to talk about. She had an incident with. She got into it with a girl. I ain't going to go into details about it, but she got into it with a girl. Got really upset about it. This is what, 10 years ago. When you was
This is 15 years ago.
When she was 40, but she was. Long story short, the girl sort of attacked her from the back. She ended up winning the whole deal, but still, you know, just too old. Too old to be doing that shit. But anyway, it was one of them young bullies, and she's the most loving, caring person you'll ever meet. But if you bully her or make fun of her, dude, she's Irish. She would beat your ass.
Not really. Well, yes.
Anyway, but a hummingbird. Tell them about that hummingbird. Like,
so I was really, because, you know, like you said, I'm not like that. I will, you know, try to detour, get away from any kind of a confrontation. I just don't like it. But you know, when this happened, I was in my backyard and I was sort of devastated about it, because it was a big deal to me. It was a big deal to me, and I was just sitting on the back porch, and I was probably crying about it, but I was just sitting back there, and all of a sudden this hummingbird just comes right straight to my face, and it's just right in front of me, like this far from my nose, and just fluttering its wings and just staying right there in front of me. And I just watched it until it finally flew off. But what a comfort that it brought to me. It came to tell me that everything is okay. Everything's all right. Everything is okay. You know, you're going to be just fine. It's okay.
And it told you you won.
And it said, girl, you got that, girl. Don't worry. You won. You won. She looked way worse than you did.
Yeah.
Which was the truth.
But we knew it was Aunt Sue, or you knew it was.
I knew it was his Aunt Sue. His Aunt Sue was had just passed away, and she was the way he describes me is the way we describe her. She was just a very loving person, but she didn't take no crap. You know, you didn't mess around with Aunt Sue, but Aunt Sue would love you so much and make you feel so good and so welcomed and so loved.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you know, she taught you to stand up for yourself, to fight for yourself, to
chin up.
You keep your chin up. You fight your way through it. You win, you know. And anyway, I just always felt like that was her coming to tell me, you're all right, girl. You're just fine. You're just fine.
Yeah. And I've talked to, on my one video, it's called Spirit Guides and Higher Self, or communicating, something like that, in one of my videos. I talk about her, and I talk about how she guides me. She has led me to everything from finding keys to she's guiding me right now. She's probably had us come do this, you know what I mean? She's constantly guiding me and pushing me in the right direction. But the funny thing about the hummingbird, and hummingbirds were her favorite thing, her favorite animal. And she was the kind of person, we was talking about this earlier, she would go to the park, squirrels, rabbits, everything would come out of the trees, come out of the holes. They would all come up to her. She was literally a walking angel. I really believe that, man, because she had helped so many people. Whenever you got downtrodden, whenever you were like at your lowest, so many people found their way to her. She would take you in, and she would always tell you, I will help you to your feet, but you have to walk. I will not take the steps for you, but I will get you to your feet, and then it's up to you, you know. And it was always a real power. She was powerful in that way, you know. And she would get you to your feet, and she would give you that strength, and you would walk on your own. And you could look back, you know, and you'd be just like, damn, she was like such a big piece of my survival and, you know, getting back on track and whatnot. But anyway, I talk about her a lot. She was like a mom to me. My mom was real abusive. And you know, I never had much of a relationship with her, but with my aunt, yeah, man, she was like, and she would always know. She was the kind of person who always knew if I had shit going on. She would, you know, say, we need to have a talk, don't we? So we would go, she always called it her office, but it was the bathroom. She had a great big bathroom. We'd go in there and shut the door and nobody would disturb us. Then I'd just pour my feelings out, man, and she would just lay it on me. And she was the kind of person who never, if you were in the wrong, dude, she would tell you was in the wrong. She didn't patty cake your ass. She didn't powder puff it. She didn't, you know, fluff. She didn't do none of that. If you were in the wrong, she would straighten your ass straight out, you know. And if you weren't in the wrong, she would let you know too, you know. And she was always had your back either way. My whole family's like that. And we talked about how, I don't know, you notice that I'm emotional, but I've got some cousins, and we're all rough cut guys. Man, we're the kind of guys, we'll take it outside type dudes, you know, but every one of us are sensitive, very sensitive. And that's how she was. She was very sensitive, very loving, very caring, but you don't rub her the wrong way. Don't pick on women. Don't pick on kids or pets. You know, anything that was vulnerable, if somebody picked on you, you don't want to be that guy around us. You'll get your ass whooped. You know what I mean? We don't. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But back to the hummingbird, and remember the dog? We had a dog named Jed, and she was like, she took care of every dog that there was. But it was a rainy night. It was like 2 or 3 weeks after she passed.
After she passed away, it was a rainy night.
Yeah. And here comes this big old bloodhound. Was it a blood? Was he? What kind of dog?
Yeah, it was a bloodhound.
He was like a Jed Clampett dog.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that's why we called him Jed, because he looked like the Jed Clampett dog. But anyway, he came up, and we knew, that it was her that sent him, or that was her. You know what I mean? But we just had this. We both immediately knew. We just knew it.
Yeah, and it was so funny how it happened, because we were just sitting in these lawn chairs in the garage. It was raining.
Refinishing furniture.
Yeah, and we just look up, and there is this dog just standing in the garage door, just
looking
standing there looking at us.
Huge.
And it was raining. Oh, he's a big dog, just looking at us, big old baby.
Yeah.
And but we tried to find his home. You know, we called the fire department, the police department, because he had a collar on, a harness actually.
Yeah. Lost and found.
So yeah, we did our best to try to find his home, and we never did. And we ended up keeping him for a while, a couple years, I think. Yeah. But he was just he was a good
He ended up
good
in
dog.
a beautiful home. The home that he ended up with, he had his own, instead of a doghouse, he had a garage, had his own couch.
And he had a couch.
And he had acres and acres and acres to run. And he had, 2 buddies?
Yep.
A couple of buddies.
And they had their own couches.
Yeah. And he was living like a king, dude.
He was.
So it was so cool. And the lady that came and got him, I forget what she bought. She had a little teeny Chevette. She put that big ass. I mean, this dog's 100-pound dog. He's a big ass dog. I mean, he's the kind of dog that just walked on the bed or walked on the couch. He would walk up on it. He didn't jump on it. He walked on it. He was huge, man. Beautiful dog. But anyway, and I was trying to think of other incidences where she came through, but you know, I did want to just touch on the elemental thing, because
can I talk about the dragonfly?
Yes.
Well, this is kind of a downer subject, but back to when I was
the day you got diagnosed.
It was the day that I was diagnosed with breast cancer. That day we left the hospital, and there was a park across the street from the hospital, and we went to that park, and we just went over there. We didn't know how to, I was terrified. He was terrified. We just had found out, so we're just trying to wrap our heads around this, and we just didn't know what was going to happen or how this was going to go.
This is how it went down. We went in for a routine breast exam. Next thing you know, they're freaking out. They're like, you could tell by the doctors and the nurses that, oh shit, you know what I'm saying?
And prior to this appointment, he never went with me to the mammograms. He never went with me to the doctors. But this one particular, for no reason at all, he went. He just went.
It was a beautiful day. It was June.
It was a beautiful sunny day, yeah. But we went to the park.
And we was going to go eat.
Yep.
We had these big plans. We was going to go eat. And, after just doing this real quick routine deal, next thing you know, they're carting us off to, we meet this breast care navigator. She has us set up with another x-ray,
all these
tests, a surgeon,
a doctor,
an oncologist. Like, all of a sudden we got 3 or 4 different appointments for the next 3 or 4 days, and they're rushing us. This is like,
yeah, they will not say the word cancer.
Right.
No one will say you've got cancer because the biopsy hasn't came back yet. But so they can't tell me this, but they know.
Yeah, you can tell them.
And we know. We know. And so, you know, we go to the park, and we're sitting there on this bench, and I got my legs crossed over. I got a skirt on. And all of a sudden, there on my knee lands a dragonfly. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a dragonfly on my knee. Just look at it, it's beautiful blue. And I knew that was my dad because my dad had passed away. And so that was just, but it was there. I knew it was my dad telling me, you're going to be fine. You're going to make it through this. You're going to be okay. It's going to be all right. And I knew from that day forward.
And it was communicating. I mean, it sat there and stared at us, and it kept lifting it. Remember how it would take its wings and kind of go up like it was talking or something? But every time I'm sitting there looking at it, and every time it would move its wings like that, it was like this feeling came over me of information, you know. I knew it was her dad too. We just knew it. For some weird reason, we just knew it. But
and so there was my experiences with dragonfly.
Yeah.
So now I love dragonflies.
I think you liked him before, didn't you?
I liked him before, but not near as much as I like him now. And I always told him, even before that, I always told him when I died, I want to be a dragonfly. The reason why I want to be a dragonfly is because I love the water. I'm not a swimmer.
Yeah, she can't even swim.
I can't really swim that well. I think I could pretty much save my life, but I love the water, and I just want to be on top of the water. Like, I could just float on top of the water on a raft just for hours and hours, for days and days. I'll just be on top. So, and that's what dragonflies do. They just kind of get on top of the water. So I always said, when I die, I want to be a dragonfly.
Yeah.
But
okay, well.
Anyway.
Well, I'm trying to think of something that we could talk about before we wrap it up, because I want this to be sort of short, which is already 28 minutes. I can't go short, man. Short's not my thing. I'm a rambler. That's just the way it is. But anyway, let's just sit here in Kim's energies. Just, I don't know if you guys can feel it. I'm sure that some of you can. I'll try
to push it to you.
But
today's gonna be a great day.
It is.
Today's gonna be a great day.
That's why I'm gonna get this out immediately. I'm probably gonna barely edit it, so there'll probably be some glitches in it because I don't care. It's got to get out today. The full moon's here, and this will set your weekend off. This should make you happy because. I don't know. And maybe maybe I'm biased, but I think she brings happiness. And everybody I've ever been around, they love her. And she's humble. She's like, oh, huh, you know, she always, you're too much. You think too much of me. You do this and that. And it's like, baby, don't you notice? Don't you ever hear what people are saying? You know what I mean? Because she has an effect on people, man. And it's awesome. It's awesome. She's had an effect on me. She's been my balance. She's been my rock. She's been, you know, because I get out there sometimes, man, and I'll be out there, and it's like she pulls me back to earth, and like, you know, that's my grounding rod. She's like, she keeps me grounded and keeps me, she keeps me humble. She keeps me safe. I mean, really. But I've been, you know, trying to bring her on, and we've talked about, well, what are we going to talk about? What are we, you know? And finally we just said, who cares? Let's just have a video. Let's just do it. If we don't, because she goes, I don't know what to say. I'm going to be nationwide. I said, you're going to be more nationwide.
Worldwide. I'm like, oh, I can't do it.
She goes, I need to make notes. No, you don't. Let's just shoot it from the hip. Keep it real like we do. Talk about whatever comes up. But the main thing is just, giving you guys this beautiful view out here, and start your weekend off. Like she always tells me, you can start your day over at any time.
Anytime.
Just stop, take a breath, start over. Realize life is short, man. We're here to tell you. If that's one message that I try to get across is savor it, man. Savor life,
Yes. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow may never come. So
Yeah,
today is the day. Today is your day.
Enjoy it. Suck it up.
My goodness. Because there's so much to do. Even if it's pouring down rain outside, there is something to do inside. There's something to do that is good and that can make you happy, and just do all the things that make you happy. Of course, everybody has to go to work every day, and there's work. A lot of people have jobs that they don't like, but you got to find something good in there. There's got to be at least a person you work with you might want to go see, or there's got to be something. You have to find it. You just have to pick it out. Just pick it out. And,
because we easily find all the bad shit.
Easily. You can easily find the things that make you mad, that irritate you, that frustrate you, that bring you down. People, you can let them bring you down. And,
we're programmed to be like that. There's a reason they want us that way, because in your joy, in your happiness, that's when you start to move into the I amness. That's when you start to move into the being part of everything, and knowing that that you are a creator, knowing that you are and when you live in joy, when you find joy, the chemicals in your brain completely change. It changes who you are, and it changes the way you look at things. And the way you look at things, that's a reflection of who you are. So the more beauty you see, the more that you know that you're finding beauty within yourself, and you're loving yourself more. The more that you can't stand what you see, there's something about you that you need to dial in, figure out what it is that you haven't processed, or you haven't worked your way through, because we all have baggage from our childhood. We have baggage from our adulthood. We have baggage from yesterday, So, and it's a constant process, and it's and it probably isn't easy, especially, like I know that in my life, certainly I've had, pretty dysfunctional growing up and this and that. And even as I got older and she and I got married, we were 17 when we got married, we was kids. And I was still a dumbass, and I wound up going to prison. And finally, that's the shit that rattled my cage and got me to thinking differently. But still, I wasn't all the way there yet. And in the last couple of years during this awakening, I realized just how much the mental, first off, the universe's cells are mental, you're mental. I don't know what the hell I said. Anyway, so the way you think is a reflection of you. So you got to keep working on that until you see beauty in everything. When you see beauty and love in everything, you know that you are changing on the inside. That's your reflection. That's how you know what I'm saying? And I always try to stress that you guys are beautiful. You need to know that, man. You're like, don't judge yourself on what the TV says. That ain't got shit. Fuck TV. You know what I mean? Who cares what society? They're the dumbest bunch of people I've ever seen in my life, man. And I hate to say it, but that's just the way it is. And so we fall for that. We think if you wear Abercrombie and Finch, or you have a Nike swoosh, and you got blonde hair and tan, and you're a cute little frame, and whatever, all these things that they keep shoving in your face. I'm telling you, this is what you need to be. Fuck that. You need to be you, man, because you want to be different. What if we was all what they said we should be? What if every one of us was that frame, Baywatch people, you know what I'm saying? Wouldn't it be boring? We'd have probably good times with each other. Who knows? But it's just like, there's no flavor to that to me. I like to see different people. I like to see different people. I like to see the complete difference in everybody, man. I dig it. I love seeing people being true to who they are, just whatever style they go with. They don't care if people make fun of them. They rock that shit, man. That's what you want to be. You want to just be you. Yeah. Whatever you feel like being, be it. That is you. Do it. You only get so many trips around the sun, man. You never know when this ride stops. You never know. Why care? You know what I mean? Why care? I don't care. We don't care, do we?
Nope.
AJ's coming to visit. He's going to see we're not the materialistic type people. We don't care what people think. I mean, we're not trash or anything like that, but you know, you can just tell we're not trying to keep up with the Joneses. We don't care about that, man. We care about what's inside of us, not what's outside of us.
Just
morning.
good morning.
That's a cute little doggy.
Little pug.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a little puggle?
Terrier.
Oh.
Anyway, so we're gonna wrap this up. And
uh-oh.
Lots of smells.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap it up, and I'm just gonna quickly tell this story, but I don't know what it is, but we'll be like here at the park, and this has happened to us several times. People will come up and start they don't even say hi. They literally start laying their life story on us. We had a guy right over here, straight across the lake. Poor guy, his dog just died. All he wanted was a hug. I mean, he just needed, this caring, nurturing people to listen. He was a Korean guy, or Asian something or other, but his wife and the people that he deal with, they think that him to love his dog, they thought that was weak. They're telling him to get over it, and this guy can't get over it. It's his best friend, but he lays it on us. He starts crying.
It was sad.
It was so sad. But anyway, this has happened to us a bunch.
Yeah. And
there's something that people feel like, I don't know what our energy is. It's so cool, and it might just be her. I don't know, but they've done it to me too. Remember the dude in Florida?
Yeah.
This guy, man, he comes up and he just lays his shit out, and he went down there, he got strung out on coke. But anyway, this dude, I mean, he's in tears. I've never even I don't know this guy. But then he left me a note, remember that?
Yep.
Telling me that it changed him and it helped him so much, and it's just
Thank
sitting and listening. Yeah. And this happens all the time, so it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. We dig it. We're the kind of people, we love people, and if we can help somebody or whatever, we try. We're not the kind of people, we don't walk by people that, if they got a cup out, I don't try to say, is this dude got on new shoes, is this dude really scamming? I put my money in his cup. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. If he's desperate enough to stand there and put a cup out, dude, I'm going to give the dude a buck. I'm going to try to help. Like, I've done this and I've said this in videos. If you see an old person pumping gas, go up and pump their gas. I've had this happen to me a bunch of times. They think you're going to rob them and they don't want you. They're like, no thanks, no thanks. That's how society is. It's so suspicious of everybody. Kindness is like so rare that people can't.
They're scared of it. They don't believe it.
They're scared. They're like, this dude's got to be up to something. You know what I'm saying? Don't be that guy, man. Don't be suspicious of everybody. Love everybody, and just, let that be your reflection on this planet. That you're just a loving, caring soul, man. But anyway, we love you guys, and here she is.
I just want to say hi to Jenny, and hi to Melissa and Rosie.
Yes, Jenny and Melissa and Rosie are way across the pond.
They are.
And Rebecca.
Yes, and Rebecca.
And say hi to Africa, way over in California.
Hi, Africa.
Our little tribe. We got a little tribe. Jody. We got new members. I can't think of anybody right now, but these are the guys that our first little. I don't know. It's like Case Parks was the guy that somehow we all kind of can go back to him, and somehow he got us to introduce to each other. And it's what's been happening has been pretty magical and pretty cool. Me and AJ will be meeting for the first time here in the next few days, so I'll get that on video too. But and our life is unfolding since the reconnection, and even before that, just things are happening that we're just so blessed. We're so blessed. We don't think when we think about what we want, and money really doesn't come up. It has more to do with health of our family, happiness of our family, our happiness, just things like that, just the real simple things that really do matter to us, because like I said, when the cancer scare came, it put things into perspective for us, and we realized what is important and what isn't. And it's the little things, man. It's the little things. Call your mom, call your dad, call your kids. Don't text them, call them, hear their voice. Do this on a daily. And if you can't call, at least text. Don't let time go by.
Yeah.
You know, do the little things. Do the little things. Stop and smell the freaking flowers, man.
It's the little things that matter.
Yeah, it's
so much.
Yeah.
The little tiny eensy beensy things are huge.
Yeah.
They're huge.
Yeah. And it's so funny, the huge things aren't shit. And when you face your mortality, you're going to find that. You will find that. And anyway, we're going to wrap this up because we can go on, and we want to save some for some other shows because I finally got her here at least once a week. I'm going to try to get her here. And I haven't been making any videos because I've been doing a lot of research. I've got videos that are coming. And I'm not even going to talk about what they're about. You'll see. But I've wanted to, like, I just haven't wanted to make a video just to be making a video for the sake of making a video. You know, this channel, I'm confused what I'm doing with it. I'm like, is this a vlog? Is this an information channel? What is this, you know? So it's a little bit of both. So today we're vlogging pretty much. Tomorrow I'll bring you some info, but we love you. You're beautiful. She's beautiful. I'm beautiful. The tree's beautiful. That guy over there fishing's beautiful.
This park is beautiful. The water behind us.
It is, man. This is
You got to get up every morning and you got to tell the world today is going to be a great day.
Yeah,
Today
make it
is
a
gonna
great
be
day. Impose your will on it. Force yourself. So you're gonna be happy. I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna compliment. And some people, she's got people at work she compliments, and they can't even take it. They can't even deal with it. It's like
I've got people at work that are nothing like me. They're the total opposite of me.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, I don't know, but we won't get into
They're like,
that.
oh my God, here comes Miss Happy.
Happy Sunshine. They'll try to bring me down in a flat second, but
Yeah.
they can't touch me. They
Untouchable.
can't touch it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can, but
Yeah.
I fight it. I don't like it, so
Yeah.
I try to stay above all that.
Yeah. Anyway, we love you guys. Peace.
Bye.